Yes, good day Geelong Small Business Network and good day Facebook at large. Today's question was actually brought to me by Matthew, who runs the Geelong Small Business Network. It's Marcus, here from Savvy Solutions. And for the next little bit, I'll be answering one tip per week. So if you want a question answered in the form of a video, please just submit it. Ask me in the comments below. Send me a PM on Facebook. Whatever you want to do. If you've got any questions around this video as I proceed into the content, just hit me up with the comments below. Anything that you want to ask is completely fine by me, and we can explore it together. And understanding why things are how they are in terms of sales is such a great way of getting masterful at it. And so the question from Matthew is, there was a suspicion that a lot of people are afraid of sales because what they think it is. And if they were to understand what sales isn't, that would be really, really helpful. So what sales is not, it's not about the hard sell. It's not about being pushy. It's not about learning tricks. It's not about any of that. Honestly, there was a lot of that was done in the 80s, and there was a lot of people that became quite popular and quite rich by doing that and promoting that. But society's evolved. Human behaviour has evolved. The way that education is really prevalent now means that sort of stuff doesn't really work. It feels rubbish for you as the salesperson doing it, and it feels rubbish for your buyer. Because in the space of non-resistance, your ideal match will buy. So your job as a salesperson is simply to get rid of the resistance. And everything you need is already within you to do this. You've just got to learn a couple of skills to implement. There's this kind of idea that, it's okay for you, you're a natural born salesman. Bullshit. Some people have an energetic leaning that does suit sales, but that's only going to take them so far. And most of it is just a learnt skill, just like any other skill you have. So if you're in business, you're in sales, and it makes sense to get good at it. It's probably the most important business skill, I would suggest, or one of the most important business skills. So it's just a learnt skill. So firstly, know that. Don't be down on yourself or hard on yourself, and don't bullshit to yourself pretending that it's for everyone else, but it's not for you because you're not built that way. You can absolutely learn how to do it. Some of my clients sell camper vans, and they are the least salesy people I know. Beautiful, beautiful people, and they're excellent at what they do. Other clients sell IT. It doesn't really matter. Everyone can do it if it's done well, and it's about understanding the human behavioural science. It's just about identifying a gap between you and your prospective buyer and closing the gap by asking questions. And really, the first thing you need to do to get really good at it is just know how to ask the questions in a certain way at a certain time. If I could break down what sales is and why you've already got it inside you to be good at it, you get really effective when you learn how to ask the questions in a certain way in a certain time. I've got Ben Johnson on the line. Good day, Ben. I think I sent you a PM the other day, or I meant to anyway, if I didn't get there. It's good to have you on the call. So I think Ben, from memory, has been in sales for about 14 years. So he'd know a thing or two about sales for sure. Matthew's on the line at the moment. And so there's all this confusion, and there's a lot of pressure and onus on making a statement and knowing how to close. And honestly, it's not about that at all. If you build a sales conversation properly, which means you know the human behavioural code that goes on between you and them, and you know how to have the conversation, closing's really, really easy. It's just at the end. I'm presenting for the HIA tonight, and the metaphor that works with my builder clients is this. If you focus on closing, you're focusing on the front door. It's like building a home focused on the front door. They never do that because, of course, if you've got the foundation, you've got the slab right, you've put up the frame correctly, if you've done all the other steps, you've gotten to lock up, you're now at handover, popping up the front door is the easiest thing in the world. You've created the space for it and you just put it in there. Closing in sales is exactly like this. It's about learning how to have the sales conversation in a way that is perfect. And a perfect conversation, by the way, in my definition of a perfect sales conversation, it feels good for you, it feels good for your buyer, and it results in the correct decision. Whatever that decision is, that decision might be not to go with your product and service. And if they're not a great match, that's the correct decision. But if they are a great match, that's where it canes as a salesperson, when you know you've been dealing with a phenomenal match and they've just chosen to go elsewhere. Really, really painful stuff. And you know they were beautifully matched to your product or service. So that's all sales is. A conversation that feels wonderful for you, wonderful for your prospective buyer, and results in the correct decision. So I trust that this is adding a little bit of value for you. And I just want to get rid of this notion that it's hard or that you have to be hardened to do it. Again, some of my clients that are the most successful, I've got one real estate lady who is so successful, and she's a beautiful, mousy, kind of gentle persona. And she's incredibly great at what she does because that's her point of difference. So you don't have to be hard, and sales doesn't have to be hard. Not at all. It's just about knowing how to have the conversation in a certain way and asking the right questions in the right way at the right time. And it's already sitting all inside of you, and it's just a matter of learning how. So I trust that sort of eliminates some of the myths as to what sales is. I trust it also gives you the background as to why you do feel a bit icky around sales, because it was once done in a very aggressive way, and there was a lot of aggressive people having a lot of aggressive success with it. But society's moved on. And now it's all about human behavioural science, understanding why people make the decisions they do, and just having a conversation with them in a certain way. So if you've got any questions for me, make sure you hit me up. If you've got any comments about this video, make sure you let me know. I'm here to help, and I enjoy to do so. Have a great week in sales, and smash it. See you guys.